Hello everyone, my name is Sumit Sandam and I am pursuing computer science engineering. This is an educational video and today my topic is RISC and CISC architecture. Let us take any microprocessor. It consists of three types of processors: the RISC processor, the CISC processor and the special processors. Today I am going to talk about the RISC and the CISC processor. RISC, Reduced Instruction Set Computer. CISC, Complex Instruction Set Computer. Now, what is instruction set? Instruction set or instruction set architecture is a list of all commands that includes variation and that can be executed by the processor. Now let us focus on the types of instructions. The types of instructions includes the arithmetic such as and subtract, the logic instructions such as and, or, and not, the data instructions such as move, input, output, load, and store, and the control instructions such as go to, if, go to, call, and return. Now let us focus on our topic RISC architecture. The RISC architecture or reduced instruction set computer is a computer instruction set that allows a computer's microprocessor to have fewer cycles per instruction. In other words, it allows a microprocessor just to decrease the execution time of a single instruction by simplifying the instruction set. So it uses one clock cycle per instruction and it is going to accept very simple instructions and very simple and fewer types of addressing modes. And it is going to use a high concept of pipeline. But there is a misconception regarding the RISC architecture, and that is its name, the phrase reduced instruction set. It is thought that many of the instructions are eliminated from the instruction set and finally resulting into a smaller size instruction set. But it is a wrong concept because the size of instruction set of RISC architecture is increasing day by day. Thus, the actual concept is that it is just decreasing the execution time of a single instruction by simplifying the instruction set. Now let us focus on the block diagram of the RISC architecture. Here the hardware control unit is connected with the data path and the hardware control unit is placed on the instruction cache and the data path is placed on the data cache. And finally, after execution, both gets placed on the main memory. This is all about this diagram. Now let us focus on RISC architecture characteristics. The characteristics, it consists of simple instructions. It utilizes simple addressing modes, one clock cycle per instructions, uses only load or store instructions to access the memory location. Yes, out of all the instructions, it only uses the load or store instructions to access the memory location. It consists of a large number of registers, fixed length instruction format, and can be easily decoded. Yes, as the instructions are simple and it uses very simple addressing modes, it needs very less time to get executed and it is very easily decoded. But it uses very highly pipelined concept. Now let us focus on the drawback of the RISC architecture. We have talked about the RISC architecture, but we have never spoke about the drawback. What is the drawback of the RISC architecture? Suppose there is a large program and we need to execute it, and thus we know that one instruction takes one clock cycle. Suppose there is a large program, then there is a huge number of instructions, and thus the clock cycle also increases as the instruction number increases. And as the instruction number increases, the number of times the compiler will work and it is going to access the RAM increases. As the RAM access increases, the efficiency of the program execution also decreases. And the space in the memory also needed more to store these instructions. There lies the importance of the CISC architecture. The CISC architecture mainly deals with the complex instruction set computer. What is it actually? It mainly deals with using less number or minimum number of instructions by just adding up all the simple instruction into a single instruction. Yes, it may be complex instruction because it is going to add all the simple instructions into a single instruction. It is going to use all the complex and varieties of addressing modes. Thus, it is going to be a complex instruction, but it is going to be a small program size. The program size will decrease, and thus it is going to access the RAM less number of times, and the compiler needs to work very less, and so it saves the memory cost as the memory space required to store instruction also decreases. So here is the importance of the CISC architecture. Now we will focus on the CISC architecture block diagram. The CISC architecture block diagram is this. The control unit is attached to the instruction and data path, where the instruction and data path are placed together, and it is also connected to the microprogram control memory. And this instruction and data path are connected to the cache, and after that, after execution, it is placed on the main memory. That's all about the diagram. Now let us focus on the characteristics of CISC architecture. It uses varieties of addressing modes. Yes, as mentioned earlier, I have said it uses varieties of addressing modes, and it needed several number of clock cycle. So yes, it is very true because CISC architecture, as the architecture, the instructions becomes complex by adding up all the simple instructions. So it needs multiple number of clock cycles to execute, and thus the number of clock cycles may increase during executing a CISC architecture instruction. Variable length of instruction format. Instructions becomes complex as many operations are added to a single instruction, as I have mentioned earlier. It consists of complex instructions. Very less RAM needed to store instructions, yes, and this increases the efficiency of the execution of program. And may or may not use pipeline. So may and may not use pipeline concept. That is all about the characteristics of CISC architecture. So from here, what is the concept we are taking? Take for example, if you are given a lecture to a mad person and you are giving a lecture to a intelligent person. Now your method and your words which you are going to use regarding the math person and regarding the intelligent person are going to be or must be different, because you need to make the math person understand your point of view, and also the same case arises for the intelligent man. But the words you are going to use for the math person are going to be very simple, and the methods are going to be very simple so that he can understand your point of view. And the same in case of the intelligent person, you are going to use some complex words because you are confident enough that the intelligent man will catch your words very quickly and very efficiently. This bring this idea into the concept of the RISC and CISC architecture. Now we are going to focus on the RISC and CISC architecture difference. So what does the difference deals with? The RISC and CISC architecture distinguishing factors are many of the points we have discussed earlier. These are not much new. Now RISC architecture, it emphasizes on the software, while the CISC architecture emphasizes on the hardware mainly. The RISC architecture, as usual, we know the single clock cycle per instruction, while the CISC architecture uses multiple clock cycle per instruction. The RISC architecture is highly pipelined. Yes, it's true. But the CISC architecture may or may not use pipeline. In case of RISC architecture, it uses fixed instruction format length. Yes, it is very true. While the CISC architecture uses variable instruction format length. The RISC architecture can use only the load and store instruction to refer the memory. While this is the advantage in CISC architecture, it can use any instruction to refer to the memory. And the final point between the difference is that the RISC architecture can be easily decodable. Yes, it's very easily decodable because the instructions are very simple and the addition modes are also simple, so it can be easily decodable. But the CISC architecture, the decoding logic is very complex. So that's all about the RISC and CISC architecture. Hope you have enjoyed the video. Thank you very much, and I will bring out more updates on it. Please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you and have a good time.